love that music.
Here we are. Welcome back to the greatest show on television. The College Football Pick'em Show with Josh Mancuso, that's me, and brother Caleb, that's him. We got our special guest today, our partner in crime, Drew Bedard.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. What's poppin', Drew?
Well, you know this, you guys know this, but the audience doesn't know this as we welcome a bunch of people in, is that I am on here for one specific reason, which is to go off about the Bill Belichick hiring at UNC. So everybody stick around because that's in like our second or third segment. But I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you guys. Caleb, that hat, I mean, just
electric.
Fantastic. And yeah.
The hair accentuates it. It was definitely not made for long hair.
You never could have gotten away with that hair 10 years ago. So all right, Caleb, here we are on the eve of the Army-Navy football game, which we'll be talking about more later. But give us a rundown of your outfit, what you got going on here today. Looking good. Tell us about the hat, the jacket, the whole deal.
Yeah, outfit starting with the issued cap. I think this was called a Garrison cap back in the day. We've got the Cal rank on it, so I'm a junior now. I guess I never got to senior year because for some reason I only have my junior year logo. Got a classic Army Hawaiian button down, and then I've got my As for Class jacket on. It's awesome. Got class years on this side with your company, and then it's got your company patch. E2 Brew Dogs, baby, go Brew Dogs, best company in the Corps. I know they're still doing great things there. So that's it. I am in Washington. I'm in Old Town, Alexandria, about a block from King Street, preparing everybody for Army Navy, preparing us to win the party tonight because we've never lost a party to Navy. Believe that. And we're ready for the weekend, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Dang, looking good, son. And in D.C. for the game. You're going to the game?
In D.C. Last minute, had no plans to go to the game. Yesterday, my plebe year roommate texted me and said, I got 2 tickets. Do you want to come up? And I was like, yeah, we're there. So got an Airbnb, drove after work yesterday, left at like 5:30, got here almost at midnight, got in the Airbnb, knocked out a little work this morning, and now we're ready to get right.
Oh, it is go time up there.
We're coming in hot.
You guys are going to give your predictions about that game later in the show. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We'll be giving the predictions about the show or about the game later in the show coming up here before you know it. We got a good show today, in fact. Probably the best show ever, I'd say.
It's always the best show ever.
It's the best show ever.
The biggest and best show ever. I do want to mention,
right.
you guys have it up there, and we can talk about it a little bit more, but a new partner to the Honorable Mention Sports family that you guys can talk about, but the Pick'em U app, which is going to have an Honorable Mention Sports League for the college football playoffs and the NFL playoffs. You're going to be able to score points. We're going to have swag packs. It's all going to just meet and greet. You get to sleep in a bunk bed with Josh. No, I'm just kidding. That's not part of this.
Not trying to scare him away, Drew.
We'll be talking more about that later on in the show.
That's great. Yeah, we'll talk about the Pick'em U app as we got a very cool partner. And Drew, you're the guy. You can tell us all about it.
Sure.
You're
just as fantastic.
No. All right, so we got a lot to talk about here. We had a pretty big weekend of college football. It's Friday for us now. We did not have a show earlier in the week, so I guess it's old news, the conference championship games now. But I think we should talk about a couple of them really quick, especially the SMU Clemson ACC championship game. Huge game. Caleb, you were at that game, right?
I was at that game. I was.
Yeah, in Charlotte? No, yeah.
Yeah, it was in Charlotte. It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing in Charlotte. It's not a place you think of being cold, but it was really cold. But what a great game.
Yeah, what was the atmosphere like there with the fans?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I'd say the stadium was like 3/4 full. So there were still enough people there to make it exciting. It was not just like electric like some of the other venues, but it still was a good match. The SMU fans were hilarious. SMU fans, so their fan base, I realize, is completely alumni driven. Like everybody there
yeah.
was pretty much alumni. It wasn't like just crazy like SEC fans that really have no real connection to the school. And so they were the nicest fans ever. The SMU fans were just like, man, we're just so happy to be here. Man, I hope it goes our way. But I'm so proud of this team. And and of course we would be like, oh, you guys sure are good at paying players. And they were like, yeah, that's why we're back. As soon as we can pay players again, we right back in it.
That's right.
Let's go. That's great.
It was incredible.
So an insane finish to the game. I mean, Clemson came out strong. I thought they were going to blow them out. This is going to be not even close. SMU's they're going to lose this by a million. They're not going to go to the playoff. It's going to be a wild time. Fights back.
Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, comes back and ties it up with like 19 seconds to go, I want to say. I was, oh my gosh, we're going to overtime. Right. I mean, you're there live because you're seeing it. And then there's an amazing kickoff return there by Adam Randall, who had a chance to meet when I was at Clemson, a really good kid and really talented kid who was not even their normal kickoff returner. He's like their second or third string guy. He did
really
in for that play. I mean, he's a first teamer in talent. He just doesn't learn kickoffs, I don't think, normally. So they put him back there. I think we have a clip of that. It was just
Adam Randall back for the kickoff. Adam Randall bringing the kickoff back. Four-man rush. Klubnik throws. Caught. Antonio Williams dives down. It'll be a 56-yarder. The wind really not a factor. Snap and hold are good. That one is good.
Dude, that place came to life.
Clemson. Wow. Clemson again in the ACC title game for like the eighth in the time in the last 10 years or something. I mean, incredible finish. What was it like being there in person?
So it was awesome. Starting with the first half, it kind of got away from him. And at the start of the fourth quarter, the game was basically over. I mean, they interviewed the SMU coach, and his comments were like, yeah, we're just going to try to put together a best 15 minutes for the seniors. They got 15 more minutes of football. Like, we want to send them out the right way. Like, we ain't going to win this thing. And so I left with my buddy. We went to the bar right beside the stadium because it was freezing. And we ended up watching the whole thing at a bar, looking at the stadium on TV, but we could hear the roars, and the bar was packed with half Clemson and half SMU fans right outside the stadium. And so it was just like this roller coaster of emotion inside. Yeah, it was awesome.
Incredible. Drew, what did you think about that game? Were you watching?
I did. I watched some of it, most of it. It's definitely the most exciting game that Bank of America Stadium has seen in some time with the Panthers. Now, I'm kidding.
It is.
It definitely it probably felt to Caleb like a Clemson home game. People love to come up there for Clemson to Charlotte. So, but I think the biggest thing in this was, I believe, the reason SMU ended up in the playoffs. I think they're getting blown out. This is all the reason for the committee to kick them out and bring Alabama in, and then SMU comes back. So good on those kids, good on the coach for, even though his interview may have said that they were giving up, but they stuck with it and take it to a tie, and Clemson has to do a walk-off field goal. But I believe that's the reason that they got into the playoffs. So good for SMU.
Yeah, that's awesome. We got a quick question here from Ryan Carter. He said, "What's with the Army get up?" Caleb, what's with the Army get up?
This is my get up. This is my outfit.
He's a cadet.
No, Ryan, I just wear this is kind of like my normal thing. Just kind of go down and go out in this. No, I was a cadet.
He was a cadet. He went to space.
Space cadet.
He was a space cadet. That's good. Oh man. Okay, so awesome game. Clemson. I don't know. I love Dabo. I'm not even surprised that they won that. Somehow they find a way to get in there every single time. It's amazing. Good for them. But with some other big games, obviously Georgia, Texas was a big rematch. I can remember. I know I picked Georgia. Caleb, who'd you pick?
We picked Georgia, both of us.
We both picked Georgia. Yeah, there we go.
Yep,
so
we both picked Georgia.
And they did it. They did. Georgia proved that they are elite still, and they win the big games.
I'm telling you.
Even with a backup quarterback who almost got decapitated in the fourth quarter. So,
yeah, Absolutely.
It was unbelievable. If I was on last week, I would have been the one on the Texas side. I thought Texas over the last couple of weeks was coming into this game with stronger momentum, I might say, but impressed with Georgia. I still think Texas and Georgia. I mean, we may see that matchup again somewhere down the line. I put my money on Texas to win the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm going to be doing in the Pick'em U app is Texas is going to be going to the finals and winning for me. But SEC championship in Atlanta. I mean, that's like a home game for Georgia. So, but you guys were right. Georgia wins.
Go ahead, Caleb.
It was just an incredible display of having an elite program. That's the only thing I could think. Like, if you are another coach in the league, if you're Heupel or you're Billy Napier, you look at Georgia, that's where you got to be as a program to win championships like that. How many of those schools could have beat Texas with a quarterback that got injured at halftime after they only had 56 total yards in the first half? The quarterback goes down. I mean, there's no way Tennessee loses Nico at halftime and beats Texas. I mean, there's just absolutely no way. So I was incredibly impressed with Georgia, man. I just was so impressed.
Same. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Here's a question, Anna. Tillett, I'm not going to say your last name. Which college team do you love to make fun of the most? I'm assuming that question is for me. Although, Caleb, maybe you make fun of college teams.
That's for you, Josh.
In your spare time as well. Maybe.
I mean, mine's Navy. I mean, mine's just easy. It's not a question.
No, absolutely. I like to hit Alabama pretty good. I like to hit South Carolina. Although that's come back to bite me a little bit. I made them mad, and they've been after me. But now I've been praising South Carolina every week. So, I like to make fun of every team. That's my answer. Nobody is safe when the videos are coming down. So,
amen, brother.
Nobody's safe. Arizona State and Iowa State, just an absolute whooping by Arizona State, as expected. I did not think Iowa State had a chance. I've been saying all year Iowa State's overrated. I don't even know what they were doing ranked up. The games they won weren't even impressive. I don't know why they were in people's top 15. It was ridiculous. So, anyways, Arizona State over Iowa State. Caleb, anything? I know we got a clip to show in a second, but anything strike you from that game?
No, Arizona State, a lot of people are scared of them because they're on such a high going to the playoffs, but I'm not this. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. I'm really not. But anyways, I want to see the clip because that's the one thing I want to see from the game.
Yeah, let's watch this hit here. It just makes me hurt just seeing it.
Oh my God.
God, let's roll it one more time. This was I mean, look at this. Jeez. Every safety's dream come true right there. Woo. Blitz up the middle, look at him just. Oh my gosh!
Now quarterback just hit off of his feet.
I mean, heels come up, the whole deal.
Oh,
ugly boy! That was like Caleb Mancuso in high school right there.
Look like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just
look at that.
Down.
Boom! I could watch that all day. Now, this was this called for targeting? I believe it was. That was called for targeting. And this kid. All right,
it should have been.
Is that targeting?
Yeah,
it looks like it was high
in your mind. Yeah, he came
in.
It
looks like it was high.
Yeah, so when you look at
the
clip of the kid in the Georgia game for Texas who hits the quarterback and literally knocks his head off, but he took his helmet out of the way, hit him with his pads, and did not get called for targeting. That where you're using the crown of your helmet to go directly at a quarterback's face. I mean, you're gonna get kicked out for that.
Yeah, but that hit on the Georgia quarterback was massive and awesome and legal. Now this kid for Arizona State could have done the same thing. I guess he just had to turn his head one way or another. Still gets the hit, but now he's going to miss the first half of the playoff game because of that hit. That's a tough break right there.
Big deal.
That's a tough break.
That's a tough break right there. Oregon, Penn State. I mean, Oregon was rolling. Penn State kind of came back there towards the end, and I really thought I picked Penn State to win this game. I think I'm just sentimental for Penn State. I love Penn State's uniforms. I'm just picking based on uniforms like my wife does, but which was a dumb idea because Oregon is too freaking good. But I picked Penn State, and it came down to the wire. And I want to show you guys this, and I'll let you comment on it. But I mean, this was not called pass interference at the end of the game. Maybe it wasn't pass interference, but I wanted to at least talk about it. So, Luke, if you're going to roll this clip. Okay. All right. Aller's throwing his number 6 there.
Give me your breakdown here, Josh.
And then you got the DB. I mean, I saw some jersey pulling. A lot of hand sliding.
Right hand holding.
A little jersey pulling. I mean, he prevented the receiver from getting to the ball. His hands clearly holding him. Is that a problem? Do you call that in that moment, or are you saying, look, he can't get to the ball because the guy's pushing him back a little bit and then holding him, and he can't get to it. I think that could have been a pass interference call. They didn't call it, and I didn't really even hear the announcers or anybody even talk about it. But I thought it could have been. To me, that looks like pass interference.
Yeah, I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't care about either one of these teams, but I do believe that, it's sort of a 50-50 call there. Could go either way. I know Penn State probably very upset that they didn't get the call, but if Oregon had gotten a call on them, I feel like the Duck fans would have been equally as upset. I think that late in the game, 2 guys going for the ball, I don't know. Letting it pass was probably the right call.
Caleb, what do you think?
He's got a handful of jersey, but he's looking back at the ball, and he's in perfect position.
Yeah.
I mean, his body
says PI for sure.
He's in perfect position, and he's looking back at the ball. I think that's why he got away with it. You know, if he's not looking back at the ball,
he was looking back at the ball, but he's in perfect position because look right here when you go back to because he's pushing the guy.
Would you look right here? Look right here
into that place to be in position. Yeah, I mean,
he got his handful of jersey.
Would you look at this? Just look at this.
I mean, I'm telling you what, that's pass interference. I believe.
You think so?
Yeah. Look,
I think that's a good play.
Brett Crabtree coming in here saying PI for sure. Gretchen says PI there bails out a horrific play call. Well, yeah. I mean, you guys drop a comment as to what
maybe
you think
that was the play call though. Sometimes they'll call that deep ball to try to get a pass interference.
Sure, or to give your receiver a chance to go up and get the ball.
Know. I like a no call there. I thought the Oregon player, made the play. Yes, he got his head around like Caleb said.
Good. You guys, I'll stand on an island by myself here. I'll just stand here and I'll just call pass interference. You give me the flag, I'll throw it.
You just stand there and you be wrong, okay. Josh.
I'll stand here. All right, that's fine.
Talk like here. I'm Brett Crabtree.
I got control of the comments here. PI hands down. Well, his hands were up on his jersey, and so that's why it was PI, in my opinion. He's on perfect position because of the PI. Crabtree. Look. I'm telling
Brett,
you
guys. You're not on the island. You're going to the island with Brett. You guys are
let's go, buddy. Oh, that Perkinson here says no PI.
Great play.
Great play. Well,
the debate rages on.
Shaw says he's with me. I should have been a referee. All right. So, anyways, Oregon wins.
You're not.
Moves on. All right, Caleb, take us through the ACC championship, the AAC, the Army's first year in a conference, and they win that sucker over Tulane. And the best part about this, Caleb, is that Tulane beat the snot out of Navy.
They did.
35-0, and then Army comes around and just whoops Tulane. That's got to feel good.
I didn't see that whooping coming at all. I thought Army might win, but it was going to be close. But, it was awesome. It was a cold night at West Point. I knew that was going to play to our advantage because it can get so cold and nasty up there at nighttime. And then Army came out. Bryson Daly runs for 4 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns, and he scored the first 4 touchdowns of the game. It was absolutely electric. It was so fun. I was staying at a good buddy of mine house in Charlotte. We took that game every which way from Sunday. Bryson Daly prop bets, yes. 2+ touchdowns, got it. Army wins. They were a dog. Take it. Parlay them all together. Another one. That was the most fun I've ever had watching Army football. It was an absolute blast. And I'm so proud of that team for getting in the AAC the very first year and winning that thing. Guys, incredible.
Happy for you, buddy. I'm always happy when you bet, you just roll the dice. I'm going to just pick everything, a Buddy the Elf elevator style, just hit every button and hope that it works.
And it never happens like that, especially with your own team. And it happened. It was so fun.
You said all year long, Army is a cover monster. They cover the spread. And I don't know if they covered every game, but I bet they covered almost every game.
I think they covered all but one off the top of my head. Okay. Yeah. And this game, Army was a dog and won outright.
Yeah. You can put your faith in the United States military. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, and your money.
And your money when you're betting. The Pick 'em You app, they don't bet money. You just pick the games, and we're going to be doing that. And later on today and next week, we'll be picking the games. You guys can get in there and create I guess join our league and create a bracket, I believe. So, yeah. So, all right, great. This is good stuff. The other big news before we get to talking about a couple of new coaching hires was the new, and I guess this affects the upcoming playoff game with Tennessee at Ohio State. They're trying to, or I'm not sure if they passed it, but they're trying to make flag planting a felony in Columbus, Ohio, at the shoe.
Oh,
Don't plant your flag on our field, or we'll take you to jail. What? Is this is for real, Caleb? What is this?
Oh my God. So, okay. The flag planting is kind of silly. I don't think you need to go out there and plant your flag. It's not like you guys don't play every year. Like, they're not going to beat you one year and plant their flag. Like, come on. But This is the whiniest thing ever for a state senator to be worried about a flag planting bill to make it a felony.
Spend some time trying to make some people's lives a little bit better, and don't introduce legislation where you can't plant a flag. Well, yes, first of all, this is like the Streisand effect. Like, this story would have gone away and people probably would have been discouraged from planting flags. And then it comes back to the surface because of this stupid legislation to stop it and make it a felony. I can't wait for Tennessee. We're going to plant the biggest Vol flag in the middle of the shoe up there next weekend. So, but I think this is absurd.
That's right. We're gonna plant a big old T up there. Davy Crockett's gonna stick his rifle in the ground.
Yeah.
You know, Smokey's gonna take a crap right in the middle of the field. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna do it all.
Then they're gonna have legislation. Dogs can't be on the field. Then
Dogs
Herb
can't
Street
be on the field.
Bring Peter out there and just what
awful.
is the world coming to?
Mascots aren't allowed.
Slippery slope.
I mean, come on. Ohio, you got enough problems up there. You don't need to be worried about no flag planting at your state school's stadium in there. That good gosh. How about you ban Dalton the eye with your special
maybe beat
band?
a mediocre Michigan team, and we don't need to have this discussion.
Well, even if Michigan plants a flag, what are they going to do? Arrest them all? Taking the whole Michigan football team downtown in their helmet and shoulder pads? Like, what?
They had the police using pepper spray last week.
They were pepper spraying them.
I saw that.
That's nuts. That is why. I mean, it was getting into a brawl. It was getting pretty rough there. I mean, Ryan Day was over there. He's just like, what's going on over there?
Crimea River.
Yeah, he was. He was just kind of watching, like,
whatever.
What's happening?
Hey, I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you though. Planting the flag seems kind of goofy. Like, this isn't a freaking war. You're not claiming England back from, the Roman Empire here. Like, this is like you just played a football game.
What a reference!
Just celebrate.
You are quite the historian.
I know my history.
That was deep.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you call yourself a history buff?
I would call myself buff.
A buff.
Period.
Yeah.
But the history buff second. But I got this hoodie on. You can't see my muscles.
I'll tell you who's going to be history is Ohio State next weekend.
Ho! Okay, more big news coming out.
Ryan Day's career. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Ryan Day.
I'm not even supposed to be here. This is not my show. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm here to talk about Belichick, and then I'm leaving.
Let's get there. But everybody's glad you're here. All the comments are coming in. People are like, Drew is number one. We want Drew.
I don't think a single person has said that.
They're coming. Come on, guys, drop it in there. We love having Drew on the show, and we're gonna make him come back again because he has great knowledge, and he's dropping it on us right now. We got big news coming out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The Tar Heels have hired none other than Billy Belichick.
Billy.
Woo!
Chapel Bill.
Go.
Chapel Bill.
Chapel Bill is on.
I already told our friend at Smack Apparel, Jeff Attanella. I texted him that right away. I was like, "That's got to be Brandon in the in the comments says, "Who is Drew? Who is this guy?" I'm just one of their friends, and I'm
We
on
actually
here.
don't know. He just somehow he found a password and hopped on our stream.
That's true. I just found the link. I'm just a big fan of the show, and I jumped in here.
Oh, but look
No,
here, Drew, look, David Petty says Drew is my hero. That's who
thank
it
you,
is.
David. I appreciate it. So, okay, I got something to talk
Give
about.
it to
Now,
us. Tell us about this.
Let me give
Drew.
you a little context first, okay?
Okay.
I'm from New England. I'm from Massachusetts. Am I a Patriots fan? Not a diehard like my dad is. Okay, my brother wrote for the Boston Globe. Sports Illustrated has a great website called bostonsportsjournal.com. And I've been having this debate with him for years that I believe that Bill Belichick is a mediocre football coach. Now, that is a hot take that everybody in the media right now loves to say that Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Fine. He's won 6 Super Bowls or 8 Super Bowls if you count his days with the Giants and all that crap. But here's my take. First of all, the North Carolina thing is a huge nepotism play to me. I think Bill's going to be there for 3 or 4 years of his 5-year deal, $10 million a year. I think he's going to be there for 3 or 4 years. This whole play was to get Steve Belichick, his son, the head coach in waiting job so that Steve has a fantastic job in 4 to 5 years. I think this is going to be a disaster for recruiting. Now, you can keep this hot take because I might be terribly wrong and he may be in the playoffs next year. But I think they're going to be terrible at recruiting. Belichick is famous for humiliating his players. Famous for it. He would humiliate Brady. Brady was a generational talent, and he would humiliate him in team meetings. You don't think he's going to do that to an 18-year-old kid? These kids, the coaches these days have to play part politician, part babysitter and coddler, and yes, they have to coach football. They have to coach X's and O's. But I think that this is going to be a mess. I also thought, and this was an interesting tidbit that came up yesterday, is that his buyout is $1 million after June 1st, 2025, which means that if an NFL team came calling in the middle of the summer, which they wouldn't because they'd already have their coaches at that point, but his buyout is only $1 million. So my big thing is he going to pull a Jets Patriots? A lot of people forget that the New York Jets hired Bill Belichick a long, long time ago, and he left them at the altar for the New England Patriots when Robert Kraft came calling with his bigger check at the time than the New York Jets. And he just completely – and have the Jets – the question is, have the Jets even recovered from that from 20, 25 years ago? So I think this is a disaster. I think it's going to be a mess in Chapel Hill, and I love Chapel Hill. I wish them the best. But I think this was a nepotism play. I think this was all about Steve. He's 72 years old. He's about to be 73 years old. Okay, so there's my hot take. That's how I feel about it.
Hey, I think that's a great take, and I'm with you. Bill is a year younger than Mac Brown, who they just fired because
maybe he could run for president.
Maybe that's all you got to be is old.
You just gotta be old.
So I mean, I'm kind of with you. I don't like this hire at all. I don't, and I know some of the folks in North Carolina, they're great people. It's all good, but I don't understand the hire unless they know that Bill's son is going to take over and they're okay with that. Maybe they're like, hey, we want that. We want you to come in, whip everybody into shape, get your son ready, and then we want your son to come in and take over. I mean, surely they thought of that. Surely North Carolina thought that could happen because there's no way he's going to coach, not going to coach for 10 years. His 5-year contract, like you said, he may not even finish that. So, Caleb, what do you think? I'm kind of with you, Drew.
No, I love it. I love this hire. It's a beautiful hire. I'm all for it. Yeah. And this is why, for one, North Carolina is one of the most underrated jobs in the whole country, because North Carolina is this huge state school with all the resources and NIL of a huge state school, but their conference is a bunch of small private schools like Wake Forest and Duke. Right. So, to get to the playoff, it's one of the most simple and direct ways to get to the playoff of any school, right? You just need to beat Clemson. Point. I mean, it's beautiful. And Bill Belichick's not going to be there very long, but no one stays at North Carolina very long anyways. They're basically a jump off system to begin with. They know they're not going to hold a coach for 5 years. So all he's got to do is say, hey, every big name transfer out there in the portal, if you want to go to the NFL, I'm the guy that's going to get you to the NFL. He gets good enough players around him. They have the NIL resources to pay them, especially compared to their competition, like, again, Wake Forest or
By the
whatever.
way, I think that's a load of crap too, because I don't think
No.
that he's well liked in the NFL.
Yeah,
That
but he
he's-
knows what it takes to get there. That's
He
the
knows
thing.
what
Just
it
like
takes- yeah.
he knows what it takes to get there. That's what Nick Saban would do. He'd put on the tape and be like, "Hey, look, you're not NFL quality here, here, and here, and I know because I coached there." Right? That's what Bill's going to be able to do. He gets him to the NFL, and then boom, in 3 years, all he needs is like enough players to win the ACC championship. He's there. I love it.
Yeah. I love Chapel Hill. I wish him the best. I love the colors. I love the basketball team. I love all that stuff. And you're right that it's a great program and it should be elite in the country. Could they be top 25? Indiana's a basketball school and they're in the college football playoff. So, but I just think this is a PR play. Bill Belichick's a big name, but I was also seeing some reports that he was potentially radioactive in the NFL. And also, I don't think he wanted to go back to the NFL because you know what the NFL debate or what the NFL job brings up? It brings up the constant debate. Is he a mediocre coach that had Brady?
Yeah.
Or is he a great coach that Brady happened to play for? Is he the best coach of all time? If you look at the statistics, it says that every year he hasn't had Brady, they've been 500 or worse. So that's all my point. But I think this is a great PR play. But I think from a coaching perspective, I just don't see how it's going to work out.
So the one thing I'll tell you, Drew, I agree with you on it. There's something deeper going on. Like, why is he taking that job? I think you got a good point with his son. Like, there's something deeper going on than just Bill Belichick wants to get back into coaching. It just doesn't.
That's it for me. It's good money. Yeah. It's good money, a great program, a great
money.
School, and I think he gets his kid a job when he's done coaching. I think those are the things that. And I'm not sure that he wanted to go back to the NFL. I'm just not. Even with a Jaguars job where you could have had complete control, I don't think he wanted to go back to the NFL because the debate will rage on. Was it because of Brady or was it Belichick's genius? I don't know. So
I'll tell you right now, it was because of Tom Brady. 100%. Tom Brady leaves the Patriots. Patriots suck. That's how that went down. And they had other players too. They had a whole system of. He had a great offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Belichick, I don't know what his role was. I don't know enough about the team. If he was like a leader, a motivator, or if he was just beating down players. I don't know what his role was and everything. But I feel like the staff did most of the coaching and the players did all the playing. I'm not trying to diminish what Belichick did. I think he's still a good coach, but the greatest of all time? I don't know. I think Tom Brady is the greatest of all time.
I think Mike Tomlin's the greatest coach of all time because Mike Tomlin has won every year with crappy rosters or great rosters.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. Bill Walsh, we could go down the list. Let's have that debate another day because I need to go back to work. But let's have that debate another day of who's the greatest coach of all time. And then you probably have to separate it between college and pro. But
yeah.
Look, thanks for letting me come on and air my opinions about Bill Belichick. And I just good for North Carolina. Good on you. Good PR play, but I don't know
huge
where
PR
goes
play
from here.
Love that Carolina blue, though. We love that Carolina blue.
It's the best color.
You guys, make sure you check out Drew's NFL show on Honorable Mention Sports on our network on all of our channels. Usually on Monday nights, I believe. Yes. So Monday nights, tune in. He's got a great show. Usually
I'll be back
30
next
minutes
week.
Long.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have to do it after hours. I gotta sell some
job and you got a family and things like that.
And if you're looking for a great place to attend a NASCAR race, go to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's a great place. Hey. And I will say to everybody before I duck out, I'll see you in the Pick'em U app. We've got again college football playoffs, bowl season, the NFL playoffs. I'll be in there with Josh and Caleb, and we'll be mixing it up and see who's going to come out on top in there. So, boys, have a great day. Thanks for letting me voice my opinion.
See you, Drew. You're the man. Yeah, he's out. He's trying to say something at the end there. That's great. Just to piggyback on this, you and I are at odds here. I don't see value in hiring Belichick necessarily because you're telling me you can't go get PJ Fleck from Minnesota or a coach from Texas Tech or somebody that had a good season that's on the up and up that you want to bring in.
Could they?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
does he leave in Minnesota to go to Carolina? I would, because Carolina, you could go to a championship in a heartbeat. You could get to the playoff easy at Carolina.
Yeah, Minnesota, you're not going. That ain't going to happen. But
it's tougher. But still, I'm not sure he would.
He loves Minnesota. He loves his team. I think that's if I was North Carolina, I would try to find somebody that loves North Carolina. They're going to come and they're going to stay for the long term. I just don't. You tell me Bill Belichick's going to go to high schools and talk to high school coaches and high
That's
school
hard.
do all this crap. I just don't
It's
see it.
hard to see.
I don't see it happening. I feel like they're going to build a team that is like a kind of a transfer portal type team that's going to have a lot of talent, but they're not going to be able to win the big one. They're not going to be able to overcome Clemson, Miami, these other teams. I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be awesome next year. There's going to be
Is-
so much media attention around that program. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm thinking from a practical standpoint. If I'm a part of the organization, but what do I know? I'm a freaking comedian, and I don't know jack about hiring football coaches. So, other big one I think, Caleb, both of us are interested in is Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Dan
the
the man.
former Florida coach heading to UNLV, which I freaking love this hire. I am fired up. I think Mullen is a great coach. I think he never should have gotten fired from Florida. I don't know why.
He shouldn't have.
He should be there right
No.
now. They would be competing in the SEC if he was still there. But UNLV with that awesome offense, I was just out there in Vegas this week and drove right by the campus. It's a great place to coach football. He's going to have UNLV's already good. They're already conference. They were in the conference championship. So I love it. I can't wait to see what happens.
I don't know why Dan Mullen did that. That man had the comfiest job in the whole world, and he left it to go back to the grind of college football. But you can't. I can't imagine UNLV making a better hire. I can't imagine, and I'm surprised Dan Mullen didn't have a better offer. Or I don't want to knock UNLV, but I'm surprised there wasn't a big Power 4 school, and maybe those jobs just aren't open yet. And he was really excited about UNLV, and he went to it, but. I was kind of expected to see him somewhere like in the Big Ten or in the ACC or something like that. I mean, he was a good, like you say, he was a good coach of Florida. He easily could have stayed there and had a really good program. So good for UNLV. I think that is a 10 out of 10 hire for them.
I agree. It's a home run hire for them. I'm with you. I'm wondering why he ended up going back into coaching. I guess once you've got the itch, you got to do it. I don't know, because he was a great commentator. I loved him. On ESPN. He was great. I mean, everything he said, I was like, this guy knows ball, which I guess is why he's a good coach. But I wish he was still on the media side.
That's why they're not calling us. They're calling him.
They're not. Nobody's calling me about a coaching job. Not one freaking job. Not even Purdue.
I'm waiting. My phone's right here.
You and I could go up and coach Purdue. We could have Purdue at least middle of the pack in the Big Ten. Come on. We could do it. Mercy. All right. This is good. You guys, thanks for coming in here. Make sure you're commenting. A lot of you are. Keep commenting. Tell us what you think about the state of college football, the things we're talking about, or anything else you want to say. We love to hear from it. This is interesting. I was going to pull this up. Scott Kelly. I can see Quinn Ewers staying in college for another year, but not at Texas. Maybe he goes to Auburn. Manning time.
How wild would that be?
At Texas. I will say it is Manning time at Texas. I do believe once they get through this playoff, I think it's like Quinn Ewers is a gunslinger, though, man. He slings that sucker.
If they get down in a playoff game, do you think they're going to put Archie in?
I think they might. Yeah. I
think they might too. If they get to the point where it's kind of like now or never, I think they could throw Arch in there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool watching Arch play. He's a super talented kid. He looks like a Manning when he's running on the fit. I don't know what it is, the body type. Looks like a Manning, but he's fast, unlike the other Mannings. His dad Cooper was fast, played wide receiver, right? But so, all right, good stuff. We got some awards coming in here, which is pretty cool. I love award season, seeing what players kind of rise to the top. I know we've got I forgot who's first here to do it. Oh golly, first Caleb. I can't look at this. I can't wait for you to see this. SEC Coach of the Year,
Shane Beamer, dude,
by USA Today. Beamer.
He won't leave us alone. He's
our biggest fan.
He is our biggest fan. He is such our biggest fan. And just when you're ready to write off Shane Beamer, he ends up going on a run. It's like every time he's been close to being like, all right, I think this is it for Beamer, he goes on a hellacious run. So he is now the SEC Coach of the Year. What do you think about that? Is that who you would have picked?
I think it's a good pick. Yeah.
It is a good pick.
I'm trying to think of another coach that I would pick. I don't know who else. Clark Lee may have also been
Yeah.
named coach of the year by a different media
I
group.
agree. Yeah, I
think.
think so. I think it was not the SEC. It was a different one, but yeah.
Yeah, which I think is certainly valuable. But the way Beamer has turned the program around and got players in there, they love playing for him. And the losses they had were close. At least two of them were really close. They lost by a combined 5 points or something.
Right.
On those, I mean, then he went on like a 6 or 7 game winning streak. They were talking about putting him in the playoff, for goodness sakes. Yeah, coach of the year. It's all you, buddy.
Steve Sarkisian would have been my other one, maybe put in there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got an easy schedule, blah, 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 but they were really strong team, went to the SEC championship game and almost won it. So that would have been my other vote. But you're right. When I'm thinking about the coaches, I mean, there's a lot of them that are just there's not many that are competitive in that realm. This is like the one year you don't have to give it to Kirby Smart. So they're not going to give it to Kirby. No, they'll probably have to give it to him like 3 out of the next 5 years. So
that's right. Someone finally else gets to gets to win. Let's go to the comments here. Brett Crabtree says, Josh Mancuso, you're exactly right about everything. I don't even know what all you're talking about, but everything is correct.
Everything.
I'm
you better be right about this this new Christmas gift I'm getting this year. That's what I hope he's right about.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's actually it's this Tennessee snowman right here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Other awards: Dylan Sampson winning SEC Offensive Player of the Year, and maybe just overall SEC Player of the Year. Well deserved there. I think we were fussed about him not being a Doak Walker finalist, which I have a problem.
Still am fussed.
Yeah, we are upset.
Yes, but what an honor, SEC Player of the Year. I mean, that's incredible. When you think you have to play in the SEC to get it, you can't play against mid majors in the MAC and just go crazy with some crazy stats. I mean, you've got to play in the Southeastern Conference. That's the best of the best, man. Well deserved award for Dylan Sampson.
Absolutely,
well deserved.
SEC baby, it just means more.
It just means more, like your snowman.
That's right. I'm drinking out of a Game Time Sidekicks cup here. As you can see, this is the OU Boomer Sooner cup. So make sure you go to GameTimeSidekicks.com and get yourself a good bit of drinkware over there. Also, you know what? Go to Alumni Hall. I'm wearing all the Alumni Halls right. You get all kinds of good stuff. You got shirts, hats, hoodies, polos, stuff for guys, girls, kids, big people, small people, old people, young people. All the people can get
maybe even pets.
Maybe. You can get all kinds of things along that hall for your favorite team. You should go check that out. Okay. I had the chance, Caleb. I was in Vegas this past week. You're in DC now.
I'm in DC.
We're both just jet setters. You drove, I think.
I drove. Yeah.
I flew on a plane, which is, I fly a lot. I don't love it though. Big flyer. I don't really like it that much. I prefer to be on the ground. I'm like John Madden. I should get my own bus.
You should get you should get the Madden bus. You get a little sick on planes, right?
I get a little bit air sick.
Motion sickness.
Yeah. As long as I just kind of, stay cool, look straight ahead, just get a movie going or whatever. I'm good. I'm good. As long as I'm not, flying around, doing something. Anyways, I went to Las Vegas.
A Madden bus.
I do. Yeah, of course I do. We need an honorable mention sports bus. It'd be great. I went to Las Vegas for the College Football Hall of Fame Awards dinner. It's my second year going. I'm very thankful to the National Football Foundation for inviting me again a second year. I don't know why they keep inviting me, but I'm grateful that they do. Getting to meet a lot of former Hall of Famers and new Hall of Famers going in, as well as the Campbell Trophy nominees, which is for the nation's top scholar athlete, football scholar athlete. And this year's winner was Jalen Milroe.
Wow.
Alabama. Yeah. Great kid. What,
really, did you get a chance to talk to him?
So at the dinner, we had assigned seating at this we went to Emmitt Smith's restaurant in Las Vegas. Emmitt wasn't there, but his food was there and we ate it and it was good. And they had steaks and all kinds of good stuff and drinks. We had a good time. And they sat me next to Jalen Milroe. And so,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Sat you next to Jalen Milroe?
They sat me next to Jalen. he didn't know that until we sat down, and he was like, "Oh, geez," you know.
Did you feel pressure to like say something where you're like, I got to say something funny. I'm a comedian. I got to say something funny.
Yeah, it's cracking jokes the whole time. Some at his expense, some at Alabama. You know, just no. I did. Yeah, we had a good time hanging out, and we were watching. It was funny. They had on the screen. It was Monday night. So Monday Night Football was the Cowboys and somebody else. I forgot who it was, but it was a Cowboys game on the TV that we were watching. And the chef came in and he said, "Hey, you know, we're sorry Emmett couldn't be here tonight. He had something else, you know, to do whatever." I leaned over to Jill and I was like, "I know what he's at that freaking Cowboys game is what he's doing right now. That's where he's at." So pretty cool to hang out there. Really good kid. Really impressed with him. Obviously, incredible talent. I mean, we saw him play. He's amazing. But yeah, really mature kid, and excited for him to win the Campbell Trophy. Last year was Bo Nix was the winner. So good
Wow.
company. Good company.
That's cool. That's cool. You got to sit by him. I'm guessing you're like, got your mashed potatoes and you had the salt and pepper and you were like, oh, this goes together like Jalen and Isaiah Bond. Is that how you were at the dinner or what?
I did, except Isaiah Bond,
Yeah,
Bond transferred to Texas, right? So I mean,
that's the point of the joke.
That's probably so I passed the potatoes to him, just like I transferred them over.
Yeah,
yeah.
We Texas here.
We had a good time. Made some good jokes. Also, there was Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. He was nominated. Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. Seth McLaughlin, the Ohio State center. Was there a lot of great athletes and some smaller school athletes as well. I love it, like Morgan State
cool.
and like schools you never heard of. So they really reach across and they find athletes who are doing good things, who have great academics as well. The average GPA for all those Campbell nominees was like 3.77. I was impressed. Yeah.
Wow.
I never saw 3.77.
But I never even smelled it.
No.
Not in college.
But listen, this Hall of Fame class that went in this year. All right, so they combined this dinner, but then they have the Hall of Fame awards dinner the next night, which is aired on ESPN Plus. I think we have a graphic of that of the players that went in there. Look at some of these names: Justin Blackman from Oklahoma State, Tim Couch from Kentucky, Warwick Dunn,
Warwick Dunn,
Florida State, Deion Figures, defensive back at Colorado, Larry Fitzgerald,
one
of the best ever to do it. Toby Gerhart from Stanford, Dan Hampton from Arkansas, Antonio Langham from Alabama, defensive back, Randy Moss, who couldn't be there.
I love him.
Yeah, he's got an
he
illness.
Couldn't be there.
No, he's got something going on.
I know it. I hate to hear that. There's been some rumors online, and then his son came out and debunked it. So I'm not going to bring it up, but I hope he's okay. I love that guy. Not that I know him, but I just love him on Sunday NFL Countdown. He's incredible.
And he's an absolute baller when he played football in college and NFL.
Yeah.
But well deserved. Julius Peppers, who is an absolute beast. I got to do it. Some of these you'll see on social media, guys. If you're watching on my channels, interviews with some of these guys. I interviewed Toby Gerhart, Julius Peppers, and some others, and just great guys. Tim Couch. Peppers is huge. He's huge. He's tall. He's big. And he and I both work out a lot. Who else? Ward Smith, Mark D'Antonio, Michigan State head coach.
Right.
Yeah. Who else there? Oh, Edwards. Okay, so Armani Edwards. All right, on that graphic, top row, fifth one there with the longer hair. I mean, Armonte Edwards played at Appalachian State, quarterback, and was the first quarterback in college football to throw for 10,000 yards and run for 4,000 yards. He was an absolute monster at Appalachian State. He was part of the team that upset Michigan years ago when they beat them at the Big House. Kid's a baller.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Just a bunch of elite athletes hanging around. Me and them.
Yeah, you and Did you tell them all about your college football exploits or what?
Oh yeah, I boasted about being an honorable mention. All that. So yeah, big time. They were impressed.
Emory and Henry Wasp.
The Wasps. Okay.
Heisman next, huh?
Well, we've got Heisman candidates, Caleb. I would love to know what you think. We got 4 that are making it to New York right there.
We got 4.
Cam Ward from Miami, Travis Hunter from Colorado, Ashton Genty from Boise State, and Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. So, Caleb, my question to you is, A, just in general, do you think these are the right 4? And then B, who do you think should win and who do you think will win?
I would have added a 5th, and I would have brought Army quarterback Bryson Daly. He's got the same amount of touchdowns as Ashton Genty from BYU. There's no reason at all why Bryson Daly shouldn't be there, and you can't even tell me it's because of strength of schedule, because he's playing at Boise State, not BYU. Excuse me. He's playing at Boise State. It's not like Boise State's playing in the SEC. Okay, so there should be 5. So the answer to your first question is no. It's not it's the right 4, but it's not the right 5. They should have put the 5.
I agree.
That said, I probably would give it to Genty. He's my guy. I would still give it to Genty. I think he's been the most important and the best, but I think that they're going to give it to Travis Hunter from Colorado. There's just too much momentum and hype train behind Hunter for him not to get it. Have you seen the Vegas odds on that? They've been crazy, like minus 650 for Travis Hunter to win.
For Hunter to win, wow.
Yeah, wow. It's been. He's a huge favorite according to Vegas.
He is. He won the Biletnikoff Award for the nation's best receiver. Did not win the Thorpe Award. I mean, he also won the Maxwell Award. You can't win every award. Yeah, you got somebody. You know. That's a great take. I'm actually with you 100%. I think Bryson Daly should have been the 5th there. If there was a 6th, I would have looked at Dylan Sampson.
Same.
But
Same.
That's just because we're Tennessee guys. But I think Bryson Daly deserved to be that 5th. What he did at Army is remarkable. He scored a record number of touchdowns. You know, Genty is amazing. I think Genty deserves to win because I think defenses threw everything they had at him, knowing that this is their offense, and he still busted through. I mean, he's got a great O-line, but he's just an absolute beast.
Dude, their defenses were like back in PlayStation when you just run like punt block.
Yeah.
It was like 1st and 10 at 20. You just line up and punt block, and Genty's still running through it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's just a wall just going through. I mean, if earlier I talked about Cam Ward winning, I thought Cam Ward was kind of the front runner.
Sure.
And I think because they lost there towards the end, I think that pulled him out, which is unfortunate because he's 10-2, still a good season. But you know, he did win the Davey O'Brien Award for a nation's best quarterback. So I'll be hosting that in February, the dinner with him, which will be a lot of fun. So I'm glad he got that. But here's an interesting thing about Travis Hunter winning the Biletnikoff Award and being potentially a Heisman Trophy winner. College Football Kings on Instagram, they posted this. I'm just going to read it from my phone. It said Travis Hunter wins the Biletnikoff Award, but San Jose State wide receiver Nick Nash led the country in receptions per game, receiving yards per game, and touchdowns. So, thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? If you look at the stats, Travis Hunter was 6th in the country in receiving yards with 1,152. All right, Nick Nash had over 1,300 yards, had 16 touchdowns. Hunter had 14. Is this a case of but it's San Jose State? Great job, but you're San Jose State, or is it no? He should be considered. Is this a Travis Hunter like Colorado hype train thing again, or is this, I don't know. What do you think?
So is that for the Biletnikoff Award, or is that for? Yeah, so I agree with that take. He shouldn't have won it. I mean, let's be honest. Colorado played tougher schedule than San Diego State, but not that much tougher.
Right.
Like that's a big difference. It wasn't just like 10 yards or even 100 yards. I mean, that's a big difference.
That's 200 yards more.
That's a compelling argument. That's a very compelling argument.
I mean, the kid had 104 receptions. I mean, if you cross 100 receptions in college in a season, that's something else. I mean, Hunter had 92. I mean, it's not like he's not one of the best. It's just,
you're also playing with a quarterback at San Jose State too, right? He's not getting to play with Travis Hunter's quarterback at Colorado.
Shedeur Sanders,
He's not getting to play with Shador. If he got Shador at San Jose State, then what would he have done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I'll say one more thing about the Heisman, Luke, if you want to bring that graphic back up, is that those are the right four. I'm with you, but Daly should have been the fifth.
Yep.
I believe Travis Hunter may win it, but I believe Boise State running back Ashton Genty should be the winner of the Heisman Trophy. We will see tomorrow night. I think they're all four deserving, I guess. I think they're all four deserving. I look at, Dylan Gabriel. I mean, you're freaking 12-0, 13-0, and has had a great season. I mean, he doesn't have the stats, but the way he's led the team and the way he's performed and he's run the ball, and he still threw for 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns. Like, I mean, it's still pretty remarkable. But Cam Ward, you're looking at 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns.
That's crazy stuff.
Only 7 picks. That's nuts. Yeah.
That's like he's playing a video game.
Yeah, it is. It is. So anyways, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see who wins the Heisman coming up. So, all right. The college football playoff rankings, they came out. The final rankings of the year. This is it. There's no more debate, discussion to happen. This is it. And this is what's happening going forward. So there's no need for me to put out my top 25 anymore, even though it is the country's most respected top 25 in sports.
Yes, it is.
I figured I'd just leave it to the committee to do the final rankings. So take away.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously the biggest story is SMU and Alabama. Right, because that decided who got in and who didn't when Clemson won the game.
Yeah.
I don't have any major heartburn with it. So my thought is, if you ask any of the 11 coaches who they would rather play, Alabama or SMU, I bet all 11 of them would pick SMU before they had to play Alabama, with Alabama's speed and size and everything else. But I think I don't have any heartburn with it. I really don't. SMU played their way in. If Alabama wanted to be in, they shouldn't have lost as a 3-score favorite and not even scored a point at Oklahoma. I mean, that loss was so bad, right?
It was bad.
So I get it. I'm for it. And I was glad to see SMU get in. I really am glad to see SMU get in. What about you?
I agree 100%. I think they made the right decision. I don't know that there's really a wrong. I don't know if there's a wrong decision or not. I don't know. I think it's what I wish is that we had a 16-team playoff.
It needs to be 16.
And that Alabama and SMU and Ole Miss and South Carolina got in.
And Miami.
And Miami, yes.
That's the right number is 16. And we'll explain it in a minute when we look at this clip, but that is the right number.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and even you get to 16 though, now you got BYU at 17 being like, hello, we should be in. They beat 2 ranked teams. They finished 10-2. I mean, so you get, no matter where you cut it off, there's going to be somebody that's not happy.
That's true.
But they made the right call here. I'm glad SMU is in. Alabama, I mean, that was a thumping by Oklahoma. That was embarrassing. If they win that game, they're definitely in over SMU.
Even if they're competitive in that game, they're probably in.
If it's
honestly,
close,
if that game goes into overtime, they probably get the benefit of it's SEC Saturday night and they're in. I mean, Dude, I'm still disappointed that Ohio State ended up in front of Tennessee and Tennessee didn't get to host that game. Yeah. I'm still very disappointed in that. Yeah. I didn't like that at all. And especially when you look at some of the teams in front of them, like Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, a lot of teams that don't have a lot of good wins. Ohio State does have a good win for sure in Indiana and Penn State. If Indiana and Penn State are good, we think they are.
Right.
Neither of them have beat anybody good, so you don't know for sure. But then Ohio State got literally Michigan planted their flag as a 5-loss team on Ohio State field, and they fell like 4 spots. It was nuts. So I don't know. That one still rubs me wrong, but it is what it is, and it's set.
Yeah, I think Tennessee and Ohio State, you could flip those two either way, and it's acceptable. I do think Tennessee is the underdog going up there to Columbus. It'll be a tough road game. Tennessee does not play their best ball on the road. They play much better at home, and neutral sites they play well. But away games they just have struggled. So it'll be a tough one for them. Let's go to the bracket now and see what that looks like. Intriguing matchups here. I mean, Clemson and Texas, Battle of the Orange here. Tennessee, Ohio State, SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame. Which of these first round matchups are you most excited about? I mean, I'm assuming Tennessee, Ohio State, but
yeah.
other than
I don't
them,
even mean that from being a Tennessee fan. That's the marquee game of the weekend. I mean,
totally.
They got it on Saturday night. Game day is gonna be there, no question. Indiana playing Notre Dame, I think, is cool. Those schools are located close to each other. The tickets were really high. Those were the highest tickets of all of them. When you looked on StubHub, they were crazy high.
Yeah.
And that's also a night game on Friday night. That's the one that's got me next most excited. And then I would say Clemson and Texas is fun just because it will be it's just two marquee programs. And then, of course, SMU Penn State is still a good game. But what about you?
Yeah, I obviously Tennessee Ohio State is the marquee game. But I'm with you. Indiana Notre Dame. I'm excited about that one. Honestly, I really want to see if Indiana can compete with Notre Dame. And we're going to make our official picks next week for these games. Okay. Using the Pick'em app, which you guys will be excited. Make sure you download that Pick'em app, and then tune in next week, and you can join our league and pick your games, and we'll see who wins. We'll try to get some prizes and things worked in there. We're just kind of throwing this together last minute, but it's going to be really cool. So check out the Pick'em app to join that fun with us. Either way, I think we're going to have an amazing weekend of college football, and I think we got the right teams in there. I kind of wanted to see a Tennessee Penn State matchup.
Same
myself. I felt like that was a more evenly based matchup. Maybe I don't know. It's just interesting that you've got Boise State and Arizona State with buys.
They have to reseed. Everyone said this everywhere, but they've got to reseed these after championship week. I mean, and look at the path here. Penn State gets to play SMU and then Boise State versus like Ohio State has to play Tennessee and then Oregon. I mean, that's ludicrous. The differences in those paths are just ludicrous. But I'll tell you something else. The way they have it now, the playoff committee is valuing good losses over good wins. 100% valuing good losses.
Yeah.
And they are definitely, if you looked at, so Alabama's AD made this comment last week that they weren't going to schedule any more good teams out of conference, which it came off like a whiny comment because, hey, newsflash guy, you lost all 3 games in conference. It's not like you scheduled Ohio State and they beat you out of conference. You lost to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. But anyway, he makes a good point. And the point he was making is, let me ask you this. So Clemson's a 3-loss team. They won the ACC championship. If they don't win the ACC championship, I think it's fair to say they're out, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they make it. And because of that, they're having to travel to Texas. If they hadn't scheduled Georgia and had instead scheduled like Georgia State.
UMass, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Take Georgia State. And then instead of playing South Carolina, they had scheduled like Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And Clemson was 11-1 and hadn't scheduled those big games. Where do you think they would be? Do you think they'd have gotten a bye for winning the ACC championship?
I mean,
without question. You tell me a one-loss ACC championship doesn't get a bye?
Yeah.
For sure. So, like, why would they ever schedule Georgia again? Like, why? I mean, I know there's an incentive to schedule South Carolina because of the rivalry game, but seriously, why would they ever schedule Georgia again? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right. And so I agree with that. They're definitely providing an incentive to not schedule these big games up front.
Yeah. I have a take on this that would never happen because it would require a whole restructuring of the conferences. I don't like the way the conferences are restructured. I don't like that Stanford is playing in the ACC. It's dumb.
I know.
I don't like West Virginia in the Big 12. I don't understand these. I would rather see more conferences, right? I don't want 4 super conferences or 5, whatever. Like I want smaller conferences. Put 10 teams in a conference. You play, all your opponents in that conference. You play everybody in your conference every year, and you get a couple bonus games out of a conference like that. I think that would be perfect, and you can see what everybody's really made of, and you have evenly matched games more often.
Yeah,
I don't like the scheduling of the tiny teams. I mean, who I think
it's stupid.
Georgia plays Austin P next year on their schedule.
Tennessee plays East Tennessee State.
Yeah, no reason for that. There's just no reason for that.
Well, as a fan, that's just stupid to watch.
I'm not even going to go to the game. Why would I go to that game?
No. It's silly.
not
But
gonna
the
watch it
thing
on
is,
TV
they're
either.
they're incentivizing that. They're
Yeah.
really incentivizing that because they're not giving people credit for actually winning games. They're giving people like Penn State credit for losing games, right? They get a lot of credit for a loss, and that's what they valued, which is what's disappointing.
You guys drop some
But-
comments in here. Let us know what you think
Yeah, absolutely.
about the format and what should change. What what you like about it. We'll pick our games next week. I can't wait to. I may shock you with a couple picks, Caleb.
You always do.
That's why they. Well, I can't say that. We're a family friendly show. I had a great joke that I cannot use. So yeah, that's the deal. You know who was not happy about Alabama not reaching the playoffs?
Who was that?
Oh, old Roll Tide Willie.
Oh, Roll Tide Willie.
Roll Tide Willie. Let's see what Roll Tide Willie had to say about the.
Here we go, Willie. Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie. Oh, we did not get in, Willie. Come on. No, we didn't get in. Didn't even get in the daggone playoffs, Willie.
Yeah, we are. They didn't do us right.
Well, we lost 3 games.
We still got to be in there. We
Well,
are the greatest.
if we wouldn't have lost some games, though, that's what killed us.
That's
They
what
killed us
killed
out.
the great. That's the reason they got to go out there and play daytime football.
Every week they got to play
Every
tide
week you gotta
football.
go out there and play.
And we
You
didn't
can't
do it.
walk around with your finger in the ear.
Damn, that sucks, don't it, Willie?
That sucks. And
Sucks.
I don't know if
Sucks.
I don't know if they got problems. They can't get along with each other. I don't know what it is, but everybody needs to get everything straightened out.
That sucks, don't it, Willie?
That sucks. We could have been in there if they'd have went out there, played and lost to unranked teams.
That's right.
Alabama ain't never scored 3 points in a damn ball game.
That's why we ain't in.
That's the reason we ain't in. To Oklahoma. What ain't ranked, we should have whooped them like a whooped dog.
You ain't happy.
I ain't happy. I'm mad as hell right now. I'm ready to bust something. But
Roll Tide Willie
ain't
ain't
happy.
We still don't give a piss about nothing but the tie.
tie. We love the tie.
But they got tightened up.
If they're not getting better, they will. Roll Tide roll. We love it.
Roll Tide Willie with some
Roll
great
Tide
wisdom right
Willie.
there. Totally right. He's like, what? We're not in. He's like, well, we did get beat there pretty good by Oklahoma. That's probably the best call. I mean, he knew it. He knew it was,
He did.
it was the right call.
He did. He was frustrated, but he knew
Don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
about nothing but it.
Roll Tide, baby. I love it.
It's incredible.
Thank you, Roll Tide Willie, for that. Now we've got another clip here we're going to show. I think we found this. This was some guys talking about. I don't know, Luke. You got to tell me. I don't even know what's next on the
There
show.
are really 4 teams, though, that can't win it in the college football playoff field. Arizona State, Clemson, Indiana, and Boise State. I'm tossing those 4 teams aside. Now, the Vols are interesting because I think on paper and talent-wise, Tennessee is potentially good enough to win the whole thing. If they were on the bottom half of the bracket, they could be an interesting sleeper. I just think it's too much of a gauntlet. I think SMU is going to prove the committee right. I think they're going to put up a good challenge against Penn State. So I like SMU potentially as an upset against Penn State, maybe even to beat Boise State as well. As for a national championship, though, we're throwing out SMU. Penn State's in their own category because they have the talent to get it done. The path and the draw is very favorable. But James Franklin has beaten 1 top 5 team since he's been the head coach at Penn State. So what makes you think that he's going to win 3 straight games, 4 straight games against top 10 teams to win a national title? I just don't think it's going to happen. Think about the teams that have given Georgia trouble this season, right? Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia Tech. Ole Miss and Bama were able to win the game. Georgia Tech took Georgia to 8 overtimes, and they should have won that game. All 3 of those teams had mobile quarterbacks. Bama and Georgia Tech especially. Riley Leonard has the same skill set as like a Haynes King does, and Notre Dame is going to do similar things that Georgia Tech did that gave Georgia issues. So I like Notre Dame in that game against Georgia. I like them against the Boise State, Penn State, SMU winner as well. I think Notre Dame's going to the national championship. Right now, one of the major talking points about the college football playoff is what a difficult path this is for Oregon. Number 1 seed, undefeated. You get the winner of Tennessee and Ohio State. I think Oregon's going to take care of business. I think they beat Ohio State in the rematch. I think it's going to be Texas and Oregon. And at the end of the day, I just think it's going to be too hard for a team to go undefeated like Oregon. I like Texas to upset Oregon. Texas, Notre Dame, national championship. Hook 'em, takes it home. Give me Texas to win the national championship.
This guy he's taking the horns all the way. What do you think about that?
Wow.
I mean, the kind of the process of elimination. Kind
Yeah.
of first team out. That was interesting. That kind of makes me. I didn't like that he took Tennessee as the fifth team out there, but I mean, it's probably a popular.
It's
pick.
based on who they're playing. So in terms of, I think he's right about the 4 teams that can't win it, and I would put SMU in that bracket.
Yeah.
I don't think SMU can win it. Here's why we need to move it to 16, though. Look at the 4 teams that are out, the first 4 out. You got Miami, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Alabama in whatever order. Actually, I think all 4 of those teams legitimately could win it. Yeah. I think all 4 of those teams could run the table and win it. But there's 5 teams in there that I really don't think can win it at all, which is why we ought to go to 16.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's okay that those 5 teams are in it because they won their conference, and we need to keep that, and it's a national game, and that's great. But we're putting people in that legitimately I don't think have nearly the rosters to win this thing, and we're leaving teams out that have the rosters to actually pull it off. But as far as his picks, I mean, God, who knows? A lot of it's a coin flip. I have just learned the hard way. You don't sell Kirby Smart short. Like whatever he was saying, like, oh, Kirby Smart, and they don't know about a running quarterback. Like, okay, really? You don't think Kirby I got it. They've had a little trouble. Really? You don't think Kirby Smart can figure out a running quarterback? No, right. I ain't bet. Kirby Smart stuff that he dismissed Kirby Smart way too easily.
Too fast.
That. Way too fast. Way too fast.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Luke, if you want to bring the rankings back up there real quick, the interesting thing of talking about this is when you look at Indiana for sure. I think Boise State, SMU, Arizona State. I don't know. They played their way in. They're a tough team. I wouldn't want to face them right now, no matter who I was. But I mean, and I'm looking at, give me actually. Let's go to the bracket real quick, Luke, one more time. I want to see instead of Indiana Notre Dame, I want to see Alabama Notre Dame.
Same.
Instead of SMU Penn State, I want to see Ole Miss Penn State. I want to see South Carolina and Texas. Dude, these are games. I want to see Miami against Notre Dame or against Georgia. Like these are games. These are heavyweight hitters. So 100%. I understand we've got to have. We're giving other teams like Boise State a chance who previously would never really could get in there all the way. I get that. I think it makes sense to have the field open. But again,
sure.
I think I think 16 teams would be great. I wish we could adjust it each year. It's like, well, you know what, because like these are like SMU. These are not the best teams in America. All right, these are the highest ranked teams that
they're certainly not the best teams.
The system worked out for them to be in it, and I'm supportive of that. I get it, but if you want the best teams in America to play in this thing, you're putting Ole Miss in there. You're putting Miami in there. It's just kind of those are the best teams
for sure.
There was some guys on I found that kind of shared what it would look like if the BCS was still around, and it predicted the rankings. So if the BCS system was around, this is what the playoff bracket would look like.
Wow.
Tennessee and Indiana.
It's actually fairly close.
Georgia and South Carolina. Ohio State and Alabama. Then SMU and Boise State. And then your buys are Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State.
Wow.
That's still no Miami.
Still no Miami.
And still no Ole Miss. South Carolina jumps, which is interesting because Ole Miss beat South Carolina pretty solidly. And in this system, they jump Ole Miss and get in the playoffs.
I don't want to go back to the BCS system.
I don't either.
That system.
To me, this is just different, but not better.
Same. It's just different, but not better. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we got the right system. We just got to keep refining it to get the best teams in there. And we got people in here saying 16 is too many. Perkinson's in here saying 16 is too many. 12 is perfect.
12.
What makes 12 perfect? Why is it? What is the perfect number? And why is that the perfect number? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, same. The one thing that guy on the video, the great point he made, man, the paths are wildly different.
They are.
And like, man, those everyone's going to get hey, I like this draw, don't like the draw, but they are so far apart when you look at the draw that like Ohio State and Tennessee got compared to the draw that like Penn State got. I mean, Penn State, come on, man. You guys haven't beat a good team. They literally got nobody on the resume that's any good. They're going to be like, oh, Illinois. Okay, Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. Yeah. Illinois is like Kentucky if they played in the same league, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have got a golden bracket. Like if they don't at least make it to the Final Four, man, how much pressure is James Franklin under?
Yeah, a lot of pressure, I think.
Right, he's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Ryan Day, but James Franklin, holy moly.
I mean, my opinion is you don't, regardless of what happens going forward, you don't let go of either one of them. I think they took you to the playoffs. Like you just gotta find a way to win with that coach. They're great coaches. They just gotta figure it out, and they probably will. So this is great. We're having a good time. We're just about done with the show. We're gonna pick the Army Navy game here in just a minute. Excited to talk about that a little bit, and we've got a Pick'em app we want you guys to know about. So if you want to join us, download the Pick'em app. And next week we will get into the bracket, and you can pick your games. Caleb and I will be picking our games, and we're sure to make it entertaining for you. Make sure you're following us on Honorable Mention Sports social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the places. Don't just follow me. A lot of you are probably watching this stream or listening to this stream on my channels, which I appreciate. Thanks for watching my videos and keeping up with all my stuff. Make sure you follow Honorable Mention Sports specifically so you can get more content like Drew's NFL show and other things that we are adding to our plate. So make sure you're doing that. And feel free to send us an email or send us a DM there about what you want to see on the show, what kind of things you want to see, because we're just building this thing and we're excited about the off season and doing some cool stuff there. So, all right, last two things we got here. Do a little trivia here, Mr. Army Man. All right, all right. I'm going to read them. I'll read them off, and I'll let you go first. Okay, this is Army Navy trivia. True or false? So we got a 50% chance here. The longest stretch of Army Navy games not being played was due to World War II.
I'm going to say false, but I don't know what else it would be. So
right.
Probably not a good answer.
I'm going to, I'm going to say true just because like you don't have any other answer, and a war seems like a
good reason.
A good reason. Okay. False.
It
was due to a duel between an Army general and a Navy admiral after the 1893 game.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Luke said it lasted 5 years.
Yeah, they took a 5-year hiatus over a duel. Wow.
We're mad at each other and like, we're not doing this next year. That's hilarious. All right, Caleb, who has the most Army Navy game wins?
Navy. I think Navy overtook us when they did this, when they went on that really long streak back in the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it is Navy. So we'll both go Navy. Yeah.
7 ties. Wow.
60.
Army's been on a heater late though.
Dang right to have. We're about to go 11 straight here and tie this series up.
That's right.
Okay. True or false, Caleb? Instant replay made its American debut in the 1963 Army Navy game.
True.
I'm going true as well. That's a very specific stat that I don't know.
It is.
We would have made up otherwise. That's true.
Yeah. We knew. Yeah. There's no way he made that up. He read that somewhere.
Right. Out here saving America and debuting instant replay for all of us college football fans. That's great. All right, the 1944 and 45 games, Army was ranked number 1 and Navy was ranked number 2. True or false?
Yeah.
Army lost both games.
I'm going to say false. I don't think they lost both of them. I think that was Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside.
I'm going to say true that they lost them both.
They might have.
False.
That's right. Army had a Heisman Trophy winner in that era. I think it was then. It was around that time. But I'd have to check on that. But
that was back in the day when these teams were so good and the Ivy League teams were good. It was like
classic.
Before. Yeah. Okay. Oh, multiple choice. Oh, I love this. Is the only way I could pass tests in high school. Which
Pick C.
location has held the most Army Navy games? Municipal Stadium, New York's Polo Grounds,
Mm.
Veteran Stadium, Northwest Stadium. Ooh.
Mm. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Municipal Stadium.
I was thinking Polo Grounds.
Okay, I pick A. Caleb picks
B.
B.
Yeah, I could also see it being C. I was Polo
Nailed it.
Grounds. Love
Nice.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Nice. Good job. The show MASH, great show, referenced a fictional 1952 Army-Navy game with Navy winning 42-36. True or false? In the real game, Army won.
I'm gonna say true.
Saying true. I'm going true as well. Army won that sucker. Let's go. False. Navy won 7-0.
Come on, Mash. What's wrong with y'all?
Dang. They're like, well, that's a horrible game. We're gonna have to make up a better score, 42-36. And Navy went, okay. Oh, thanks, Luke.
5-2. Man, that's a
5-2.
beatdown.
That was not even close. Good
Yeah,
job.
beatdown.
Good job.
Got him.
So got him. So in order to pick this game, Luke, can we skip to the video? This is the video to get you hyped, Caleb, for the Army Navy game, the uniform reveal hype video. It's going to be so good. Here we go. We're going to show
Today, a milestone in the modernization of the United States Army, the new 101st Airborne Division.
Here's what we've been waiting for, partner. Kickoff.
Of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny.
We're ready for the annual clash of Army and Navy. Let's play ball.
Wow.
Woo! If that didn't
Who
give you
made that
chills,
video?
get you going, boy, you don't have a pulse.
I'm telling you, how awesome is that?
Golly, I'm fired up, Caleb. I'm ready.
fired up. I'm fired up.
Woo!
I can't wait, man. It's one of the coolest events in the whole world. This will be my 4, 5, 6, 7th Army Navy game I've been to. I went to as a cadet. I went to 4 as a football recruit. I went to 1 as a high school senior, and then I've been to 1 as a graduate. So this is only the second one I've been to as a graduate. But it's an experience like unlike any other. If you're out there and you ever get a chance to go, you should absolutely go. It should be on everybody's list of games to attend. The energy and atmosphere is absolutely electric. No matter what the team's record are, you can just bank on it. And then all the military stuff beforehand, there's like flyover after flyover after flyover, and it's just absolutely incredible. So encourage anybody to go. But man, I just can't wait for this football game tomorrow. It's going to be a great one.
I can't wait either. So you've been to how many total? 4 or 5?
I've been to 7.
7. Oh, because all 4, obviously all 4 years of your.
Yeah. So I think tomorrow will
7.
be my 7th.
Okay. That's incredible. I went to 1 with you in 2009 when you were a plebe, which
I was. That's right.
People know that's a first-year student at
Freshman.
Freshman. Yeah. At West Point. Incredible atmosphere in Philadelphia. It was amazing. It was cold. Yeah, it was cold.
It was so cold that year. It was freezing that year.
Funny story, 2009 is when that was. Caleb's freshman year, so 15 years ago.
Yeah.
At the time, I was working for a newspaper, a small weekend community newspaper as a writer and writing feature stories. And they got me a press credentials to go to the Army Navy game. I got to sit in the press area up in the box, and I got sideline access during the game. It was incredible. The Johnson City News and Neighbor newspaper, and got to hang out with my brother and stay the night up there. It was amazing.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. That was probably a really cool experience. I was in the stands the whole time, obviously, in my crazy coat. But yeah,
in your crazy coat. Did you see my latest Army versus Navy video that I put out this week?
I did. I sure did.
What'd you think about that?
I liked it. I thought it was really well done. Thought it was very well done. Those can be a hard two schools to get material and content. It's kind of like all of an inside joke,
100%. That was definitely probably the most difficult time I've had writing a video this year. Yeah, just not, thankfully because of you, like I know some stuff and because I keep up with college football, I know some stuff. But other than that, I'm like, this is not like a normal game for me. So I had a hard time writing it. So,
right.
Glad people enjoyed it. GovX sponsored that thing. So make sure you go watch it if you haven't already. So let's get to it here.
Let's get to it.
Last bit of the show, Caleb, Army versus Navy. Here we go. Army is favored. Spread is at 6.5.
6.5. Yeah. Well, okay. The first thing I'd say, if you're talking about that, the under in this game always hits. It always. I think it's hit for like 17 years in a row. I read this stat. So I read this stat yesterday. I was just looking on my phone, and it said if you had bet $100 on the under, and you just kept reinvesting every year. So say the first year you bet 100, you win 90. The next year you bet 190, and you just keep rolling it like that, rolling it. You would have over $3 million at this point. If you just kept hitting the under. And that was actually before they played last year. So I guess you'd have like 6 million because you would have doubled that too.
Incredible.
Yeah. So the under seems to be the lock of the locks. And I think the under, I can't really see. I think it's set at 39 this year, which is
pretty
high.
Low. Oh, you think it's high? Okay.
Last year it was 29. Last year it was 20. What was it? It was 28.5, and it was 17-11.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it stuck. So I love it. As far as the game goes, everybody is picking Army, and I get it. Army is a great team. They've got a great quarterback. They've won the AAC, and they're definitely on paper the better team, and that terrifies me because Navy is not a bad team. It's not like Navy is Navy's a good team, and this would just be I can just so picture them beating Army tomorrow. I hate it to say that even out loud, but it's just something about this game. I can just picture it. I can just but when you get close games like this and big rivals, I always like to pick the team that has the best player on the field. And Army's Bryson Daly is far and away the best player on either side of the ball for either team. It's not even close. I think Bryson Daly is going to be enough for the Black Knights to pull it out, but it's going to be really close. I do not like having to give up a touchdown. I don't even care about that. I think very close game. Bryson Daly wins. Army rolls. Sons of Slum and Gravy rise up. We're rolling like the 101st all the way from freaking shores of Normandy down to Berlin, baby. Army rolls.
Let's go.
Love it.
Fired up, son.
I'm so fired up. Fired up.
Gonna have a few drinks tomorrow up there at the game. Have a good time tailgating.
Oh, I might already got tickets to the official, unofficial Old Grad after party. So yeah, we are ready.
Huge.
The party will be secured for Army. I assure you that.
Like Army always wins the party, like you said.
We always win the party.
Yeah. I'm with you. So I mean, look, my pick is similar. It's a trap game, but Army is way better on paper.
They are.
Army is they're so dominant on the football field, and it's awesome to see. But this is not just any ordinary game. This is not Tulane. This is not Memphis. These are great teams.
Right.
This is Navy. This is for real. This is the big one, and so it's going to be closer than people think. Probably, I don't know. But just something that makes me think they're so good, Caleb, that they're
good, man.
They may blow Navy away. I mean, I think it's possible the Army blows Navy away, sends them back out to the Pacific where they belong. I think it can happen. I think they might win by a couple of touchdowns or so. So
Dude, these are so stressful. As a graduate, these games, like when you're in the stadium, they're almost not fun to attend because they're just so stressful.
yeah,
They always were as cadets, and they still are.
yeah. I'm not just taking Army to win. I'm taking Army to win convincingly
Oh wow!
by over 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 touchdowns. I think they absolutely no. It's going to happen. Navy's defense is not. They gave it 35-0 against Tulane. Come
That's
on,
true. That's
Tulane
true.
is good, but they're not that good. Navy got beat worse by Notre Dame than Army did. I think Army is just superior. I think they're really good. I'm taking Army Black Knights, baby.
Love it.
By a
Love
bunch.
it. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Let's go.
These guys, this is football, but this is bigger than football. President Trump's going to be there. Vice President
Wow.
elect Vance is going to be there. These guys, like my brother, are serving in the military after they leave college. This is a big deal. This is much bigger than just football. This is for America. It's the only college football game. There might be a bowl game. I don't know. It's the only real college football game on Saturday. The Army Navy game. Clear your schedules. Go watch it. Boom.
Let's go.
Army, baby. West Point Black Knights. Let's go.
Woo! Where'd you get that hat? That's sick.
On the internet.
Oh, the internet. You get anything on the internet.
You can.
If you look hard enough.
Look at that. Give me the Black Knights of Army rolling in.
Sick.
Thunderous.
Love it. Love it. And thank you for letting me know to get to the stadium early tomorrow because security will be a nightmare if both of those two are there. Man.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, but I heard they're going. So there you go. It's going to be a big game. I can't wait. I say it right now. I'm telling all of you right now, this is my younger brother. He's 10 years younger than me. I am so damn proud of what he did by going to this military academy, crushing it there, going and serving our country for 5 years. He's come out. He's doing great things beyond there. And so we all owe him and every veteran a lot of gratitude. And this game is awesome. And so if you're not planning on watching it, you got to set time aside to watch this thing Saturday. It's going to be awesome. So
it won't take very long because they're both running the option. So it won't take a lot of time out of your day.
It's like a 2-hour game. Yeah.
It's like if you go to the bathroom, you've missed like half the first quarter.
Yeah, they're not throwing the ball. I mean, these quarterbacks are running backs. Basically, yeah. So we're taking Army. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's ride, Army.
Go. That's Army, awesome. Beat Navy. Wow, what a show.
Heck yeah, what a show, man. What a show.
What a show. You guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you're following us and watch the game. Caleb, send us out with some excitement over Army. Let's go. Send us out. I'm signing off.
Yep. Army Mule. Let's ride it, baby. We're headed out. We will see you guys next week for the college football playoff where we'll get our picks in. We got our new app, Pick'em U, that we're going to use to get our picks in next week. But this week, it's all Army football. Can't wait. We'll see you guys next week.